There we go. You got it.
There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to ask everybody to mute themselves if they're not already muted, so we don't have background noise. Thank you all for hopping on. This is Zoom 2 of our 3 Zoom series for getting your products paid for. My name is Megan McClenny. I am an Emerald Ambassador on the Wellness Warriors team. I said hard no to sharing when I first started these products. I used them. I got great results. Thought I was all better. I quit. So don't give up on your quitters. And then I came back to them and got basically duplicatable results. And I was like, holy cow, what's in this stuff? And then I was like, everybody needs to know. Started sharing, took me 4 years of sharing to get to Emerald, entirely worth it. Your journey is yours. Some people do it super fast like Jen, others slower like me, and that's totally okay. 100% worth it. So if you're here because you want to earn extra income, and I'm a dental hygienist and I was able to replace my full-time dental hygiene income. If you want to do that, then we want to help you with it. And we want you to know that it is entirely possible. Anyone can do this. If you are here because you just want to get your products covered, you want to get your $300 referrals, then we want to make sure we meet you where you're at. And so that's what this group is all about. And quite honestly, as I was reviewing these lessons, I was like, oh my gosh, the things that we do to get silver are the things that diamonds are doing to get diamond. Like, these are simple systems and you're just going to keep doing them and you're going to get better. You're going to have some things that are going to be like, oh, did I say that? But that's how we learn, just by moving into action. So last week, if you were on the Zoom last week, Carol Murray, who is right now at head office being spoiled by corporate, she went over lessons 1 and 2 from the Get Your Products Covered Facebook group, where Whitney, our diamond, created this series of 6 steps. And so that's what this group is for. We're reviewing those steps. So she went over step 1 and step 2. Step 1 was putting up your initial post. If you haven't done that, then we want to help you with that. Don't overthink it. Algorithms are wacky. You don't have to tell your whole story in one post. You just want to put it out there. I always say, I put it out there and I trust that it's going to help the person that needs to see it. And so just do that. You want to plant seeds. I want to reassure you, if you didn't get 3 people from your first post, that's normal. Very few people go silver from 1 post. So it's not your only post, it's just your first post. So she went over putting up that first post. And then step 2 was how to respond to those likers and commenters. Now, I can speak from experience on this. I was very guilty of, when I put up my first post, stressing, number 1, stressing about whether somebody liked or commented. And number 2, then not reaching out to them and just like looking to see who liked and commented and making a mental note, but I didn't reach out to them. Don't do that. Reach out to those people, because I want to assure you that some people hitting the like button, that is super vulnerable, because they know there's a pretty good chance you're going to reach out to them. So for them, that's like their permission, like, okay, I'm kind of interested. So do them the favor of asking, hey, are you struggling? Can I help you? Do you have health goals? Like, reach out, do the nice thing, be a nice human, and reach out and offer. And if they say no, okay. So I wanted to just review that. I also wanted to say, take action, because we can tend to be consumers of this information and be like, oh, that's a good idea, and then not do anything with it. And I know this from experience because I've done that. So take action. So like I said, respond to those likers and commenters, all these steps that you're learning, then go do them. So, and then you want to go teach them. You want to help people that you sign up. You want them to get their products covered so that finances don't come between them and their ability to be consistent on these. So if you feel resistance to any of these activities, please tell whoever invited you so that they can help you with it. We want to hold your hand, and I want to reassure you you probably will feel resistance to these because it's not in your comfort zone. It's not your normal, unless you've done network marketing before. Some of you guys, like, you've done this and like, yep, I got this, no problem. I love that. But if you're like me and you haven't done it before, you're going to feel resistance. It doesn't mean that it's salesy. It doesn't mean anything. It just means like, this is out of your comfort zone, and our brains are always trying to keep us safe. So you just tell yourself, brain, we're safe. We're going to send this message, right? So I just wanted to make that point. Also, a little tidbit of, what do they call it? I can't remember the word, but I wanted to tell you all that on the last Zoom, Carol had the idea of creating a group chat for people that are doing this alongside us. And she did not create a group chat right away. She didn't create it until, I think, today. Was it today or yesterday, Jen? So yesterday. Okay. So if you didn't get added to it, you didn't get left out. It just didn't get created. Life is busy. She was traveling. So we have added those of you that we knew to add into it. If you are not in it, message the person that invited you and we will add you to it. If you don't want to be in it, that's fine. But we're going to drop some resources in there. And she's already dropped some, and it's a safe place to ask questions. And that's another point I want to make. There are no stupid questions. We all had the same questions. I remember when I first got paid, I was like, I have no idea what that's for, but yay. So if you want to understand that, like, we can do another Zoom about that, or you can ask questions about that. So let's jump in to lesson 3 and 4. That Whitney was going over. And so if you had a chance to watch those, I would love to know your takeaways. Anyone? If you didn't have a chance to watch them, it's okay. Shirley, I see you going for that unmute button.
You read my mind. Yeah, it was great for, like, I know I've done these steps before, like early on when I was sharing, but it just the having it said again to me, over and over, and then it becomes so natural to come out when someone asks me these questions,
right?
Right. And the three-way chats and the, not, having all questions, answered. If I don't know, I will find the information. I will pass it to Jen. I will, reach out to anybody. Gigi, I do that all the time. Like,
yeah.
It's just the steps that we can take are so, just be, consistent posting, three-way messaging, make sure that, always, retouch with them. Do you have any questions? Like, just, people came to you.
Right.
So I might cold message, but they're messaging me back. So, it's not like it's a valuable supplement that anybody with a gut. So, like, I'm there. I could talk about this shit forever. Oh,
yeah. No,
okay.
That's okay. That's okay. I love it. My son says I speak French a lot, way more than daddy. So I can relate. So yeah, I absolutely. So that's another good point that I wanted to make, but I'll get into that in a second. The third party validation, huge. And you do not have to have all the questions, all the answers to their questions. And I think it's better if you don't. It makes you relatable. Not a know-it-all. Nobody likes a know-it-all. Like, oh, that's a really good question. Let me find out. We'll learn together, right? So, okay. So lesson 3, if you didn't get a chance to watch the videos, lesson 3 is super short. That video is like under 3 minutes. And that suggestion is one that I would have felt resistance to. And that is, when you are first getting started, you could do it now. Call up 3 people. At least, she said, at least 3 people. So ask yourself, who is my ride or die? And the way that I like to think of this, because this is relatable for me, I went to Weight Watchers and I was not going to Weight Watchers alone. So I called my friend. I'm like, let's go to Weight Watchers together, right? Going to a class at the gym. Like, I was not going to do Zumba for the first time by myself. So I called my friend. This is no different. So who would you call up and be like, dude, I want to try this, but I don't want to do it alone. Let's do it together, because there's a 60-day money back guarantee. We got nothing to lose. Are you interested? And if they're not, okay. And then you change the subject so you don't make it weird. But if they're interested, then you do what? You say, you can continue your conversation, but you say, all right, cool. I'm brandy spanking new. I'm about to try it. I don't know all the answers, but I have a friend that is really knowledgeable. So then you loop them in a chat. I want to talk about chats for a second, because that is something that I felt resistance to when I first started. You too, Gigi, or you understand that? So I have some people on my team who have been taking the products for a long time and who are maybe now just starting to share. And they feel like they should know the answers because they've been taking them a long time. So those chats are not about you. They are about the other person needing to hear it from someone else. How many times have you told your husband you should try X and he's like, no. And then his buddy says you should try X and he goes and tries X, right? It's that third party validation. And you're like, why didn't I think of that, right? It's just that they need to hear it from somebody else. It's reassuring. So it's not about you. I also felt resistance to three-way chats because I had a lot of preconceived notions about sales, and I felt like that was bringing in the high pressure car salesman who was going to run the numbers. That was what my brain was saying to me. And so then I projected that onto my potential, and I was like, oh, they're going to think that. Well, no, they're not going to think that. And if they do, we get to prove them wrong by showing them that we're not high pressure and salesy, and we just get them information and love on them. So don't deny somebody a three-way chat because you feel like you should know all the answers, or because you're afraid of what their perception might be, because the third party validation is good for them. Gigi.
So another thing too is, more than likely, if you've been with the company now for 3 months or 6 months, you probably still struggle online on the website, getting through one page after the other. So you're also making it more convenient and more, the process will flow smoother when you bring in that.
Otherwise, I'm going to be going on the side of the road.
Better.
So
Sorry.
anyway, that was that's another reason I think that, oh, well, it'll go a lot smoother if we can just bring in Megan, because she knows she knows exactly which welcome pack's the right one for you. Just
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I love three-way chats. I could go on for days about that. So that was lesson 3, like shoot for at least 3, but you could do more than that. A personal phone call makes it so much less weird. And if you are just really feeling resistance to picking up the phone, then a very good close alternative is a voice message. So if you don't know this, you can send voice messages in Facebook Messenger and Instagram, actually Messenger as well. And you can send them to yourself. I do this with my reach outs. When I do a business reach out, I send a voice message and I send it to myself first. And I say, hey, Gigi, blah, 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 blah. And then if I like it well enough, then I hit forward to Gigi. So she gets the version that I liked. And if I totally screwed it up, nobody knows. So if you are afraid to pick up the phone, send them a voice message, and you can do it to yourself first and then just forward it. Okay, so that concludes lesson 3. Lesson 4 was a 7-minute video. If you haven't watched it, super short and full of good information. So I'm just going to hit a few bullet points. The activity for lesson 4 was to make a list of at least 25 people. When I started, I think Whitney asked me to make a list of 50 people, and so you can do more is what I want to say, but do at least 25. And as I was making that list, I was sweating bullets and overthinking and saying, oh, no, I'm not going to write down that person. That person wouldn't be interested and that person can't afford it. Oh my goodness, not my call to decide who can afford it and who can't. So I don't know how many of you are on my team on this call, but I am from a very small area. I originally come from a very small area called the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. And I never expected that cost of living is very high and wages are not awesome in that area. So not a lot of margin in people's pocketbooks there. And I never dreamed that my biggest leg of my team would come from that area. And I have a lot of retirees on my team as well. So it is not up to us to decide who gets info and who doesn't. We offer it to everyone. They know their finances, not us. They know their medical needs or their health goals, not us. So we offer information to everyone. So when you think of a name, write it down. Some prompts that might help you. Who do I know that's game to try new things? Who do I know that struggles with their health? Who do I know that's always posting about their migraines? Who do I know that, struggles with their weight? Who do I know that wants to earn extra income? Those can be some prompts. Who do I know that's already really health conscious? I have some really health conscious people taking these supplements because they're better than the ones they were using before. So those can be some prompts, but it can just be names. So write down at least 25 names, don't prejudge. And what you will find when you start reaching out is the people that you expected to jump at this some of them will say no. And the people that you never expected to say yes will say yes. It all just depends on where they're at. I still haven't got my best friend on it. Hurts my heart because she could use it so much, but whatever, right? We've helped so many other people, so don't prejudge. Make your list. She also talked a little bit about posting on this. So we have a post suggestion thread. We don't chat in there, but Jen or Whitney each day drops a different post suggestion. You could scroll through there. You can also, when you're scrolling Facebook, if you see a post that you like, you can save it for later and you can use it so that when you need something to post, you're like, I go to my saved post and I'm like, oh, this one looks good. Copy, paste, bada bing, bada boom, done for the day. So if you don't know how to save posts, I can show you. So some posting 101. When you post, try not to post over it for at least 12 hours. Let it just sit there, even if it's not getting any attraction. Don't stress about those likes and comments because it will kill your soul. But also it has nothing to do, whether it gets liked or commented, really has nothing to do with whether your friends and family love you or not. It has everything to do with algorithms, and Facebook just may not be showing it to many people. So some ways to make it so that they show it to more people is to not put a link in your post, in the body of your post. Facebook does not want you or anyone leaving their site. So when you put a link in your post, whether it's your referral link or a link to a cool video about the microbiome or whatever, they are going to shove that down in the algorithms and show it to like 3 people. They're not going to show it to many people. They also don't show shared posts to people. So don't hit the share button when you see a good post because that pushes you down in their algorithms. So put your post up, trust that it's going to help the people that need to see it, and don't post things over it, and reduce the amount of times that you hit the share button. Some people have a habit of just sharing funny memes or recipes or whatever they love, and nobody ever sees them. So reduce the sharing, and don't post your link. Another reason not to post your link, Whitney talked in this video about not showing pictures of your products. Like you can totally this is great, but this not great, because the algorithms will look at that and they'll be like, oh, are you trying to sell something? And also your friends will be like, oh, is she trying to sell me something? So that puts people's guards up and it pushes you down in the algorithms if it perceives that. So this awesome. This, not so much. So, those are just some others, but I wanted to talk about, sorry, I'm a kind of squirrel all over the place, but don't post your personal link. When somebody asks you for your link, don't post that. Not only because it's going to push you down in the algorithms, but also because that person is then going to go to that site and get overwhelmed. This is what happened to me. I was insistent. My sponsor, love her to death. So grateful she's on here tonight. Janelle, I asked her for the link and she gave it to me and I went to it and it took me 3 months to decide what to order because they all sounded good. And then I ordered 3 random products, not what she had probably recommended to me. And I didn't get a welcome pack and I paid retail. So serve your friends well. And get them in conversation. How can we serve them? What are their needs? Oh my gosh, I have the exact right welcome pack for you. Here it is. You can do the share a cart link. You can get on the phone with them. But yes, Gigi's saying people want to talk about themselves. Absolutely. Give them a chance to talk about themselves and meet them where they're at and serve them well. Make sure they're not paying retail. Make sure they're getting great customer service. Make sure you're walking them through it. If they ask for a link, I always just say, oh yeah, I've got a link, but that website is so vague and overwhelming. Let me help narrow it down for you first and get them into conversation. So I think we are 6 minutes shy. And I think that I have gone over all my bullet points. Does anyone have any questions or want to share anything? I'm going to look at the chat really quick. Okay. Can I show this, not this again? Oh, yes, yes. Okay. So this is Hydrate, if you don't recognize it, or you guys call it something else in Canada. What do you call it? Hydroplex. I like that. That sounds bad French, as my son would say. Right?
You know, as you say that, Megan, I literally did a post like that last night.
Okay. So,
hey, man, we learn something all the time.
right. So, yeah, so this is great because it creates curiosity. We want to create curiosity so we can get them in conversation, so we can find out how we can help them. If we say plexus, 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 and we show our bottles, then they don't need to get in conversation with you. They're going to go Google, they're going to go to the main website and order, and you're going to find out about it later. Or worse, they're going to find some bootleg products on Amazon and pay way more than they need to and get 0 customer service and 0 60-day money back guarantee. So get them in conversation. So don't show the labels because that pushes it down in the algorithms and it creates 0 curiosity. But, and post your wins as they go. Yes, Shirley.
Just for maybe not so much newbies, but I add people that you have at least 10 people and that you're friended with on Facebook or Instagram, just to add, because you'll get to a point where you're like, I'm running out of people. But yet today, just for example, I reached out to 13 cold messages with my story and a before and after. And I first, researched them on Facebook. And then I send it out, and out of 13, I got 7. I had 3 phone calls today and 7 people I've been sending information to.
All right. So Shirley,
and I'm not dead.
You're not dead. Congratulations.
No, I didn't die.
You didn't die, and you're growing your business. So
And
we are all like,
yes,
oh
yet.
my God, what is Shirley sending? So you're going to put that in the group chat.
Oh, well.
So we can create our own version. Are you comfortable with that?
The funny part is I sent it to Plexus a couple days ago, a lady that's in Plexus. I didn't know. She obviously doesn't, she's not consistent, or I would have known.
Okay.
So, and she said, oh, but can I use it to reach out to, I'm like, make it your own, go for it. So I gave someone else an idea.
Yeah, I love it. And so you are going to do us all a favor and you're going to share that so we can see if that's a cold reach out that we would be comfortable doing. But that is
how do I do that?
You're just the message that you sent to those people, you're going to copy and paste it into the group chat as if you were sending it to us.
Okay. Tag me in the group chat so I know where to put it.
I'll do that,
Sorry.
Shirley.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron wants to see it too. We all want it. And gosh, oh, I know. So to your point though, add new friends. Yes. So when I started this, I aimed to do 3 new friends a day. Facebook is always showing you like, oh, you've got 12 mutual friends with this person or whatever. So, I mean, if I had more than 5, ba-bing, 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 right? I'd hit 3 a day, and then you're growing your network. And I overthought that, and big time. And at first, and I would like be like, oh no, not that person. And then I'd scroll and like, oh, not that person. And then I would overthink it and I'd be like, oh, they didn't accept my friend request yet. Now it's become so automatic. I don't know who I've sent a friend request to and who I have not. And I am having people come to me, and I am selling Plexus to strangers who are friends of friends, because it's safe for them to message this person that they don't know, but they know is friends with somebody that they're friends with and who is a real person, and tell me about their poop habits, because maybe they don't want to tell their friend. So, so I have a lot of people that have come to me and they're like, oh, you're friends with Beth. You must be a good person. I'm struggling with this and I've been seeing your post. Tell me more about it. So do that. And that's going to grow your network. One of the most successful Diamond ambassadors in Plexus had less than 200 friends when she started. And so, she has obviously grown that. Okay. We are 1 minute shy. Any final questions, comments? Is there, before we hang up, I was Zooming with, actually she's on the call right now. I was Zooming with Jen, and she had a question about the virtual office. Does anyone else have questions about the virtual office? I'm wondering if that's a Zoom that we should do sometime, like kind of a virtual office tour. Terrell, yes. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of really common questions, and Charlotte, yes. Okay, so we should maybe plan that. Okay, next week we're going to meet one more time. Jen is going to be hosting next week, and she's going to go over lessons 5 and 6, and then we'll all decide what to do from there. We can keep our group chat going and encourage each other, kind of create a little accountability, or we can do another series if you have people that are interested in joining who have just joined as VIPs or interested in sharing, so that we can walk them through it as well. Thank you all for giving us your time tonight. It's so fun to see you all. Okay.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. We'll see you guys on the Pink 15.
Yes. Don't forget.
Okay, bye.
Okay.